We're streaming. Hello to anyone there.
No one's here yet. It's fine.
Jason,
welcome to our early morning commitment.
This is our regular time. What do you mean early morning?
Before stream commitment. Not commitment. Commentary. Dylan, hurry up and pee!
Stop.
Oh, so before stream content then. Thanks, Jason, for starting it early.
You're welcome.
Oh. I forgot I had my
Welcome back. He has to pee now.
Stop! Danny's gonna have to edit all of this and she's gonna yell at you.
Oh, are we over?
Yeah.
You're just up and going, Grace has to pee, okay.
I don't even stop mentioning it! I don't even have dice, guys! Give me a minute!
How are you?
Who said that we were going to be up exactly at 11?
Because it wasn't any of us, because we were driving.
Jasper, were you the one who said we'd be up at exactly 11?
No!
It was Bella.
It was Bella!
I said it's fine if we're late.
Are we sure it's not Danny?
Oh, it
Yeah.
might be Danny.
No, because she messaged us.
About it. Okay.
Danny's gonna complain that we're not ready.
Okay. Hey guys. Welcome back to ADM.
Love you.
I'm very tired. And very sore.
We were close.
But we're up at 11.
Exactly
11.
Because fuck whoever made that post.
Jason
It wasn't us,
decided.
but...
Jason has decided that it would be true.
Yeah, we could have just said, fuck that. Nat 20 on.
I'm Reese. I'm the Dungeon Master. This is Dylan, he plays Shyn, and Jason, he plays Baz, and currently Skyping in is the lovely Jasper, who plays Tabik. We're currently missing Bella, who plays Ciza, and Danny, who plays Charlotte, which is unfortunate, but we're still good to go for today.
I have announcements.
Announcements! Jason, take it away.
I am reading everything that Jenny sent me.
Oh god,
Please,
no,
for the love of God,
don't.
make a title and summary for the
Don't.
episode.
Stop.
Jason, no!
I will make Dylan read it.
Jason, no.
Would like to thank
Jason?
and I'm reading what it says! ETNL now that Danny made up an info paragraph to read that she actually is just a letter from the description. It says the actual thing right there! You want to read it?
You don't have to.
People!
Okay. So, we would like to thank ETNL. ETNL is a journalist site that works with game developers and reviews games, anime, and events, such like that. You can read articles from gamers who stream and give an honest opinion about their experience. Follow ETNL on social media. Basically, search ETNL. They have... Oh, yeah, she has the links down here. Twitter is at ETNL Official. Facebook is facebook.com/ETNL and their site is www.etnl.co.uk. Then, of course, we also have our own pages. Twitch, which you're currently on right now, unless it's later. You're on our YouTube, which is Hey Dungeon Master, spaces between each word. Our Instagram is at Hey Dungeon Master. Our Twitter is Twitter is at HeyDM Official, and Snapchat chat.
We're all tired.
Snapcat!
I'll get better, I swear.
I have a natural stutter. Don't fucking Snapchat. You know what? Snapchat is, you know what? I just won't give it to them because Jason runs it. And fuck you.
It's Hey Dungeon Master without an E at the end.
Without an E because Jason didn't feel like making it. Just
no, it didn't have.
No, it doesn't have.
Oh yeah.
It's Hey Dungeon Master, but it's
without
spelled
an E.
without an E in Master.
Yeah.
It's just TR.
Yeah. If you would like to donate to us, we have a PayPal. You could become a character, though caution, Reese may kill you off. Oh, she has it here. Yeah, good news, you can meet the characters. Bad news, he can kill you off. Sorry, Alec. And we have PayPal, paypal.me/HeyDungeonMaster. If you have any announcements, questions, or inquiries, the most business-like way to go about contacting us would be by not summoning us, but it would be by emailing us at heydungeonmaster@gmail.com. And well, while we're doing this anyway, we are missing Danny and Bella today for reasons.
Danny's in chat. Oh,
nice.
Send us a thumbs up. We've appeased them. Okay, you can have your phone back now.
Thanks.
And I'm taking Todd as compensation.
Because Danny is secretly a god?
No.
Danny is not even secretly a god.
Danny is the god.
No, Reese is the god. Danny's just
Jesus.
a god. No, Jesus is Jesus.
Okay.
God damn it, Jason. We haven't even started. And I'm done with your shit.
We're gonna get sued by the Holy Bible.
Jesus is gonna come down and be like, hey, fuckers.
Okay.
Can the
we
Pope
good
sue
to
us
go?
for
Anything
using
else?
intellectual property?
Anybody got any other announcements or things to go?
Did we tell them that we're gonna be missing most of the group?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So May
is complicated.
It's May, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For some reason I thought it was March.
That's like 2 months ago.
M months get mixed up, okay? Sorry. So for a majority of the month of May, we will be a little bit splotchy on when we're going up.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing quite a couple of our players during this month.
Yeah.
On and off again. So don't worry. We will be releasing episodes of Hadium Arcana, the official podcast that we've started, in which I play, and the lovely guest that played Monty, a wonderful man named Hunter, who we also call Jesus, because
he used to look like it. He used to.
Cut his hair off.
But he DMs, so we will start releasing those coming up. If we're not on
Who's
in
doing
May.
that, by the way?
I don't know.
You know what? If I have to, I'll figure it out.
We'll figure that out. Other than that, though, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tell me what Daddy gave me last episode.
Do we want to review what happened? Quick recap.
So last episode, you guys were broken out of jail.
Yeah.
By a new family friend of one of your friends. Family friend, quotation marks. And you had made your way along the road leading towards Meadow Hall, stopping for the night in a lovely little inn and tavern called the Good Night's Rest. Mm-hmm. There had been Ciza and Shyn. You guys had retired early to have a quick discussion. Mm-hmm. Baz, you drunk yourself under the table. Charlotte had cleaned up after you, and you'd passed out with the last glimpse of her disappearing. Tabik had gone to sleep, because he's normal. And then later on, you had wandered up to your room. I think... Oh, good. Okay. I think that's it, though. I think we're good to start.
That's it. That's all.
Okay. There are a few moments of quiet in the life of an adventurer. Generally, it's caused by a cease in monsters or activities or dark overlords that you're trying to hunt down and kill. But on the rare occasion that you do find a quiet moment, it's something that is treasured. This morning is one of those moments. As you begin to rouse in your beds of the tavern, the autumn light starting to filter in through your rooms as you slowly come to consciousness. You're a little bit hungover, but
yeah.
But your dwarven roots help you to stay steadfast, and you'll make your way through it. You push yourself awake in a smallish, quaint room. There's 2 beds. You can see Tabik sleeping in one of the other beds, and there's a small nightstand in between you guys that you guys have kind of thrown your packs against, stumbling in here late at night. Nothing's too out of the ordinary. It's a plain room, wooden floorboards, a nice kind of yellowish color to the walls. Pretty normal. There's a wall. There's a window above the. I just said it. The table, the bedside table next to you guys. The light is just starting to filter in and stuff, but it's pretty early morning. The first thing that you do notice, however, is, well, obviously your locket. But the weird thing is, there's a new weight there next to your locket.
Yeah. You put it somewhere, I know it. Daddy says I have to be very careful with it, but what is it?
Okay. So you glance down.
Okay.
To see hanging around your neck a necklace.
Okay.
Let me find the description. I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. Hanging next to your necklace.
Oh, fuck.
Is a dream catcher.
Okay.
A white dream catcher with 5 blue gems and a small white feather. It hangs from a silver thread, and while you're not quite sure how old it could be, it does seem to hum slightly with power. So you be careful with that there.
Do we want to show the camera?
We can show the camera.
So far away.
Just be careful because the chain's broken.
Here. Jason. Just like... like that.
What a thought. Go back. Grab your hands. Can I make like a religion check or something?
Freaking phone on my toe.
Yeah.
You
can make a religion check or an arcana check.
Let me see which one's better. They're both the exact same.
One?
Religion check. No, it's 3. I wrote
It's higher than mine.
18.
Okay. You don't recognize the symbol, but something in you something does speak to you that this is a symbol of some sort. It's not for a god that you know of, though. Not for a god you've heard of. But it does seem to hum with a little bit of that good radiant power.
Can I roll for an arcana now?
Roll for an arcana check.
17.
Okay. It hums with the radiant power.
Yeah.
But you can notice that this is a powerful object. And while you're not quite sure what it would serve as, the closest thing you could imagine would be an arcane focus of some sort.
Well, fuck, Baz doesn't know how to use this.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
From what you do know, however, sorcerers don't require an arcane focus.
Yeah.
Because it is an innate spell casting that allows them to do what they do. But whatever this is, it seems to help channel power.
Does Danny want me to defeat someone? Because that's a big dude.
No. Okay. Yeah, so that hangs around your neck now.
Is it nice?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's kind of a mixture. You can't quite tell whether it's brand spanking new or old and kind of like rusted. It seems to glimmer between the two forms. But it is very pretty.
Okay.
Okay.
Would Baz know who it's from, or would he be too drunk?
You can remember that Charlotte had put something around your neck, and this is most likely what she did.
I'm gonna go look for Charlotte.
Okay, sure, yeah. You kind of wander downstairs. The bar's still pretty empty and stuff. It's pretty early in the morning. There seems to be a small group of what looks like common peasants, travelers, that are kind of scattered around a couple of the tables. You spot Ciza, who's down there, and seems like falling asleep over her porridge.
I'll walk over to Ciza and I'll be like, what? First, 2 questions. Have you seen Charlotte? And have you had any sleep tonight?
She kind of looks up at you and squints slightly, like she looks tired, and she kind of just shakes her head and goes back to the porridge.
Whatever. I'll go back to look for Charlotte.
Okay, yeah. You spend a good 10 minutes or so, kind of poking around the inn and tavern and stuff. You poke your head in to Shyn and Kiz's bedroom to check if maybe she'd wandered in there to sleep for the night.
Is Shyn up?
I only need 4 hours of sleep.
He's just kind of meditating on the bed. He's like, close the door.
Shyn, have you seen Charlotte?
No.
Oh, I can't find her. We lost a child.
How?
I don't know, but I woke up with this on my neck. And I will, like, take it off. Not take it off, but, like, take it. I'm like, look at this shit.
Yeah, so he kind of pulls out this little Dreamcatcher necklace.
Okay. Do you think she left that with you?
I don't know, but a magical voice in my head said it's like an arcane engine.
I don't think that's how an Arcana check works.
You have your own kind of ability to spellcast and stuff.
I lied. The invisible voice in my head didn't. The invisible voice. The voice in my head didn't say that. I'm playing with you. I don't know. It's magical. I can feel it.
Baz, are you saying you have voices in your head?
Oh my god, they're everywhere. I'm kidding. No. Do you like my joke? Good morning. Goodbye. Turn around, close the door. Oh wait, was Tabik up?
Tabik was still asleep when you had.
I want to go back into the room.
Okay, you kind of wander back in. Tabik is still asleep.
Tabik. I'm guessing that's a no response. I'm going to go closer to the bed. Just Tabik.
Do you want to get slapped in the face?
Was that Jasper or was that Tabik?
Jasper.
Smack him. Wait. Is there water around?
Oh no!
Is there water
Do you say
around?
that out loud?
No, I'm talking to.
Roll me a perception check.
Are you gonna throw water on the freaking fire outside? Oh my god!
15.
Oh, you are gonna have a fun day if you do
there's
that.
a small dresser over near the corner of the room, and there's a mirror above it and what looks like a small wash basin to just clean off a little bit.
I'll just take a little scoop of that in my hand, so it dries off. But my hand is now wet. I'm gonna go over. I'm just gonna Tabik.
Oh my god!
Okay, there's a slight sizzling sound.
Tabik, wake up!
Oh fuck! I dropped my dice.
Tabik, what?
He's probably gonna wake up at this point and just glare at you.
Good morning, sunshine.
What do you want?
Good news and bad news. Which one do you want first?
I don't care.
Both at the same time, Charlotte's gone. We lost a child. But good news, she's gone. But bad
Didn't
news,
she
she's
get,
gone.
a summons or something?
A what?
She got a letter. It said she had to go.
Well, she couldn't have told us. Would have walked her to a bus stop or
Probably
something.
why she's gone.
Fantasy bus stop.
Well, why didn't she tell any of us?
She told us about her letter.
Well, some of us aren't the smartest, okay? Don't be such a
aware.
shithead.
That's an understatement.
Jen, shut the fuck up!
The real question is, are the walls at the inn thin enough for me to yell at him?
Yeah. You guys are across the hall and down the hallway. So there's no other rooms. The rooms are on the other side. There's kind of a staircase in between you and all the other rooms. So you guys can hear each other and yell across if you want. Sure.
No, I'm not gonna yell at him.
Well, wake up, sunshine. We gotta keep moving. Let's go.
You said you had good and bad news?
That was it.
Fine, leave me alone.
Well, don't be depressed. We gotta go. And I take the blankets off of him.
He doesn't need blankets.
Too bad.
He's warm enough.
Is there drapes on the windows?
The window, there's no curtain or anything. It's open.
Is it open? Can I open it?
You want to open the window?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can open the window.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Wake up, fucker!
Yeah, it kind of it squeaks a little bit when you push it up, and there's a light breeze. It's still pretty cool out. It's early in the morning, but it's not too bad.
I'm gonna go downstairs. Tabik.
Oh.
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna eat myself some dwarven porridge because you guys have shit taste, and I'm gonna have a great time. Wake up. I'm going back here in 5 minutes. If you're not up, I have water. Goodbye. And I'll walk out the door and close it.
Tabik's gonna say in Dwarvish, fuck off, you drunk dwarf.
I'm gonna say back in Dwarvish, eat my pussy. I love a relationship.
Yeah,
now I have
Tabik's
to-
gonna
And
get
as
up
you're
anyway.
going out, Shyn is also leaving his room and he's muttering angrily in Elvish.
So Baz make your way down. You and Shyn make your way down. Kind of join Ciza, who's still half asleep. But you guys each get your bowls of porridge, and jump to Tabik, I guess. Tabik, the room's getting kind of cold now. It's a pretty brisk morning, beginning of autumn now, but it isn't too bad.
Yeah, he'll get up and start putting on his armor, grab all the stuff. Check the dream journal thing.
Okay.
I've forgotten about that.
Yes, you check your dream journal. Give me 2 seconds here. Prime content right here, by the way.
Yes.
Dream journal. Come on.
Did you forget what it does?
No. Got it. Okay. Jasper, are you sure you remember how Dream Journal works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I just want to look at it.
Okay, yeah, it's still glowing kind of blue. Pretty. Pages are still blank.
I don't know how dream journals work.
The dream journal, you can rip a sheet out, write on it, describe a dream, and then put it under a pillow or something, the head of a sleeping creature, and they'll have the dream described on the thing.
Oh, okay.
So you can make
You
someone.
said it did a different thing before. Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it does record. Sometimes it will record dreams that you have that you've forgotten.
Yeah, so that's why he's just checking it quick, and then if there's nothing there, close it, put it back in his bag, grab all of his stuff, and go downstairs.
So you guys all kind of convene, finish off your porridge and stuff. Charlotte still hasn't appeared, but it is starting to get a little bit later in the morning, and you're a bit hurried. You want to get back on the road quick, make as best time as you can. So with kind of a final wave to Della, the lady who runs the keep, you kind of saunter out. You hook up the horses and everything, climb back in.
Oh shit! Wait, Charlotte was the person who rode the horse.
Who will be driving?
I have a.
We can't use Ciza, can we?
+2
No,
in animal handling.
Ciza is passed out in the back napping.
I have a +1.
I have a +2. Tabik, what do you have in animal handling?
+2.
Well, I guess Baz and Tabik are driving the cart.
Shit.
Okay, roll me who is driving, who is passenger.
Who's helping?
Do you want to drive or do you want to be a passenger?
Even or odd?
Even for Baz driving.
I got odd, so Tabik.
Okay.
Okay. Tabik, make me an animal handling check.
Oh, hopefully that last roll. Okay. I need to pick what dice to use. Okay. 18.
18? Alright, yep. So the horses kind of, they canter out pretty easily. You make your way back through the kind of arch at the opening of this kind of hedge that surrounds the good night's rest.
I rolled to sing a dwarvish traveling song. I got a 9.
Yeah. It's a bit grating. Your voice is a little bit sleepy still. But it's a tune. Ciza kind of like rolls over and smacks you in the head for it. She's like, I'm trying to sleep. But she rolls back over and she falls asleep anyways.
Fuck
yeah. What type of travel pace we set in today, guys?
Oh.
Fast, slow, normal?
Do I want to go...
Normal, maybe? Are we still within...
Normal.
Where are we on the map?
You guys are at the crossroads, currently between the path, the road that continues straight towards Meadow Hall from Cavilia, and the road that leads downwards to Weldra.
Oh, we said we were going to go a little faster to go past Meadow Hall to go to Ocean Hall.
1 sec. Sorry.
It's fine. We're very sleepy today.
Because if I remember correctly, here, let's map.
We still have quite a ways to go until Meadow Hall. We can just normal. Unless we want to make up the time, we can go faster. But then the horses need rest.
Well, because we just wanted to be careful going past the area around the 2 towns, right? The town and the city?
Yep.
That I can't remember the name of right now.
We also gotta, like,
so you guys stayed the night at the crossroads between the city. So you guys can push on a little bit faster now if you'd like. Getting out of Mir.
I like that.
Yeah, we can go normal pace, not fast, but because fast we can't make perception checks.
You can, but you have -5.
-5 to them. So that's why I said normal, because just in case for the next while we might want perception.
Okay. Okay.
You want to be careful still.
So I would like each of you to roll a perception check, please.
Everyone?
Yep.
23.
15.
Wait. Yeah, 23.
This is a 6 or a 9?
It would have a little thing at the bottom.
Oh,
the
I got
at the
10.
bottom.
I got 10.
Okay. So you guys are all a bit sleepy kind of in the morning. But nothing really happens. You kind of it's a nice journey.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Mir is one of the more beautiful countries. Especially with the large trees just starting to turn to autumn.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their leaves are turning to red and brown. You do know from living in Mir for quite a while now that they never actually lose their leaves.
Mm-hmm.
But they do take on a lovely white sheen in the wintertime. You make your way through this kind of this autumn forest as you begin to head through for the day. You stop for lunch quickly to take a short rest. Nothing happens too much. You manage to find a small family of frogs that are kind of croaking this lovely little song at the edge of a pond. But you move on quite quickly. What?
I love them.
Yes, they're very cute. By the time it starts to darken a little bit later on in the afternoon, you guys have reached.
Where does that come from?
On the table. Sorry.
That's fine.
I was temporarily distracted by the apple.
Could you move the tray as well?
Oh.
Because everything is for us to see.
By the time you guys start to get a little bit later on in the evening,
Baz can stay there.
Stop. You are starting to near kind of where the area in which the trees start to thin out a little bit more. There's a little bit. They shorten. They shorten quite a bit, and they seem to be a little bit more sparse A little more space between them.
Do I recognize the area?
Roll me a perception check or history check.
I can do that one. That one's
Can
better.
Yeah, you can all roll history.
14.
Okay.
Not gonna bother.
Okay. Tabik?
16.
Okay. Yeah. So, Tabik, you especially recognize this place. This is very close to the border between Muir and Somerset. You've passed here on your way through. As you've also passed a couple of times, a handful of them. But it's not too big. It is about 5 in the evening when you guys finally start to crawl through this area. You're all a little bit tired. The horses have been going all day and stuff. You pull to the side of the road, kind of to set up camp for a little bit. Give the horses a chance to rest, get some water and feed and everything, and make some supper. Are you guys going to press through the night, or are you going to camp?
What are the horses looking like?
Yeah. Make me an investigation roll. Or an animal handling roll.
You guys should do that. Well, I can... Nope.
I'll drop my dice.
I don't know. I think those are big dogs. Kind of one.
14.
Okay. They're looking like they're not in the greatest of shape and stuff, but they could probably press on for a couple more hours.
Do we want to make it all the way to town, or do we want to stop?
How far are we from town?
So you guys are currently at the edge of the forest almost. Based on the distance you've traveled, it would take you 4 or 5 hours to get to town, to Meadowhall.
We could push to town.
But keep in mind...
Traveling at the same pace.
Oh, okay.
Traveling at fast speed? Or were you going normal?
I think we were thinking...
Oh, normal.
Okay. Yeah. No, traveling at normal, about 6 hours. If you wanted to ramp it up to fast, you could probably get there within 4.5.
But that's going to be harder on the horses, right?
Yeah, that'll be harder on the horses.
Do you want to camp, but then leave early in the morning?
Because we're losing a lot of time.
It's 5 also right now.
But if we press the horses, they're not going to go as far tomorrow, right, Reese?
Yeah.
So we can just wait.
It depends on, with horses and stuff, it depends on the speed you're going to go and how long you're going to press on, right? It'll have backlash effects. So if you push on at a fast speed for, like, the rest of the night, they're going to be useless tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you push on for a couple more hours at fast speed, it's a toss-up. They might be a little bit slower to get going, but you could probably make it work.
You want to just, like, rest here?
Well, I'm thinking if we rest, at least, because maybe, I don't know what time, how good a time we're making. Not very good, because we've already got to...
But also the horses.
Yeah. It might be a good idea to rest at least for a bit.
Just like a short rest and then continue.
Can Shyn drive the horses while we all sleep in the back for a bit? Or no?
Shyn has a +1 to animal handling.
I mean, you could try.
I mean, I can try. But do we want to tire out the horses like that?
Well, I was just thinking go normal pace for a bit, not fast.
We don't even have to go the full stretch. We could go for like another hour.
Yeah, we could go for maybe 2-3 hours, because you said it's a 6-hour journey to town?
If you're traveling at normal speed. If you go at fast, it'd be about 4.5.
But fast, they're going to be useless the next day, right?
Toss up.
Toss up?
You're not quite sure.
I mean, okay. We could... Shyn could, but my rolls might not be good. It's up to you guys. Do you guys want to keep going? Jason, get off your fucking phone.
Sorry, Jade. I forgot I drew penis on Jade's thigh, and the massage lady was. Sorry, continue. I was listening. Do we want to continue for another few hours?
Do we want to keep going? And Shyn can try and drive.
Normal pace for a bit, and once it gets too dark, we can stop.
No.
Baz could do it for another 2 hours, and then we could take us because it's only 5.
Because it's only 5.
If we go to like 7 or 8, then we should be fine, and then we'll have a smaller journey to get to the town tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
We could do that. Yeah. And then leave first as soon as we can the next morning. Because we're just passing through town, right? We're not stopping in town, so...
Are we good with supplies? We should check supplies before, but I think we're just passing through it.
I think... yeah, we should check supplies, but I think our plan was to pass through and press on to Ocean Hall.
Yeah. Well, I got an 11 for animal handling. Try for like 2 hours.
Okay, so you guys are pressing on?
Yeah.
What speed?
Normal speed.
Normal? Okay. Going for how many hours?
2 hours.
2 hours? Okay. So you guys begin to press on. The sky's beginning to darken a little bit more. It takes you a little bit for your eyes to adjust. But you do manage to make your way not bad in the darkness. There's a couple of moments where you kind of have to rein the horses in because of a small misstep or a bit of a stumble in their journey. But you guys begin to clear the forest. The trees begin to sparsen, thinning out until there's perhaps a couple of bushes and flowers and such growing around, and begin to turn into what looks like rolling hills of fields. You can see, stark kind of against the outline of the horizon, a small hill risen up, and what looks like a couple of rectangular objects sticking from the ground every 20 feet, perhaps. They kind of spread out in both directions, but you're not quite sure what they are.
Would it be like a hill dwarven thing?
Not sure.
Do you guys want to stop and look, or keep going?
Might be good to stop and look.
I'm gonna stop and look.
Okay, yeah, make me a perception check.
Perception?
Or an investigation check.
No,
perception.
I got 21 for perception.
Did you not roll your dice, Dawn?
No.
What happened to your muffler?
I fucking hate it.
It was all like 5s.
That's... 20? Yes.
Okay.
12 plus 7.
So...
15. I said 15.
15. Jasper?
Oh, 21.
21 and a 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they're quite easy to spot from here. Mm-hmm. They seem to be what look like almost stone. These large stone rectangles, maybe a good 20 feet high. They're carved with these kind of lightly glowing blue sigils and marks and such. What look like ruins and things, and they're spaced a good 20 feet from each other. But they seem to carry on down and down and down and down. You can't quite be sure of where they would end. There is the river, which you guys have been traveling near to. You kind of been able to hear it. It's not quite next to the road, but there's a couple of moments where it kind of dips in closer and you can see it through the trees. It seems to wind its way through 2 of these obelisks and kind of continue onwards through the hills and stuff. You can't quite see past. The road takes you straight through 2 of them.
So it looks a bit like a border.
Well, we've been this way before, so
it
we
looks
know
similar
what
to
they
a
are,
border.
yeah.
Have we seen this before when we traveled through?
You would have seen these before, but probably Tabik would be the only one. You guys have passed through kind of the border between Muir and Somerset a couple of times, but you've never seen this. Tabik, the last time you had passed through here on your way to Dryernook originally, these had just begun to be put up. You had kind of spent the night in Meadowhall and set out earlier in the morning to get a little bit of travel in before you continued on your journey. to see a couple of these obelisks being kind of tugged upwards. They had already been constructed, but they were just put in place here. But they hadn't been fully up by the time you had passed through, and you hadn't stopped to bother asking what they were for.
Let's continue going forward.
I guess.
Okay.
So we'll go straight through the
Can I make an Arcana check or something on them?
You can. Go ahead.
I almost dropped my dice. 17?
17. Okay. These stone tablet-like things, whatever they are, they seem to carry quite a heavy magic to them. As best as you can tell, it seems to be some sort of a warding system, perhaps, or an identification system, but you're not quite sure what they're meant for.
But they don't look like they're gonna harm us or anything.
You can't tell. You assume it doesn't seem that the magic behind them is intentionally supposed to harm people who pass through them. But there does seem to be kind of a tinge in the warding that allows it to do harm.
I'll let the others know that.
That's cool. Still continues to go through.
Okay, yeah. You make the horses begin to press on. And you begin to crest the hill here. You are just about to pass through the obelisk when you get your first glance over into what must be the rest of Somerset. It seems to roll on forever. Endless fields of low swaying grass and golden wheat. Farther in the distance you can see the river curves down and around a couple of the hills. You can see what looks like a slight bit of smoke rising up from a couple of hills away, as well as what looks like the tips of some buildings. You can't be sure though. The moonlight is beginning to shine in now. It's kind of past sunset, and it's kind of given this ethereal glow to the place. Everything's kind of a little bit picturesque. You pass through between these obelisks, and as you do so, they glow brighter. The two that are on either side of you, they kind of light up a bit brighter and then dim again. As you pass through, you kind of feel this, like, a slight chill immediately upon passing through, and then you're back to normal the second you're on the other side of them. Okay. You guys begin to press on. You've got about a half hour left before you've decided to stop. You kind of pull off next to the river, just off the thing, kind of in this a circle of lower grass that you managed to pitch a couple of tents in. Do you have tents?
No, I have a bedroll.
I have a bedroll.
Wonderful. You don't pitch tents. You kind of pull your guys' cart off to the side, and you are now parked. What are you doing, guys?
I'm going to roll out my bedroll onto the back of the... What is it called?
Wagon?
French, it's called a wagon. Thank you. Into that, and then I'm gonna hook up the horses and give them food and water and relax.
I was rolling perception just to make sure that there's nothing around.
I'm gonna say stealth.
Wonderful. Would you roll?
24.
24?
Monsters manual. Oh, great.
I gotta get this out for later.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
You thought I was gonna let you guys
The
go an
two people
entire,
are
No.
entire thing without fighting things?
The two people who are what?
Horrible at fighting things. Or have horrible attention spans for fighting things.
You can't, just glancing around, there doesn't seem to be anything else out
of
here.
note?
Like, you can't see anything else that would be, like, a living creature at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no birds, there's no bushes,
Well,
it's
that's a
just
little weird.
kind of endless fields of this beautiful, beautiful grassland.
You said, how long did you say, how much longer is it going to take us to get to town the next day?
It's about 4 hours at a normal pace.
Well, because I'm just thinking Shyn could keep watch, and he could
Sleep on the way?
sleep on the way.
Or meditate, whatever.
Well, yeah, trance. And that could be his long rest.
Okay. So what's going on, guys?
Should just take a look it out.
Yeah,
sleeping. Fuck off.
I'm taking, I guess, quote unquote, first watch.
So, like, roleplay this. Don't just tell me stuff. This is getting boring.
I need to blow my nose.
Welcome
so
to
give me a second to blow my nose. And
welcome to D&D Camping Edition.
D&D Camping Edition. Well, we had what was it? D&D Hotel Edition a while ago.
Yeah.
This is D&D Sims Edition.
Yes, he did.
It's so quiet today.
It is. Everyone's really tired.
Everyone's really tired. We apologize for how tired we are.
How late did you guys stay up? What the heck?
Not even that late. Well, maybe midnight. The slight murmur of the computer.
We're super quiet.
Jason!
Yes.
I can sense your presence.
Thanks. I also walk really loudly, so that was probably that.
Okay.
So how are you guys today? I was traveling. I was told by a voice in the sky.
That we need to roleplay.
Oh my gosh.
Today was a day? Why, Baz, we have been together for... How long have we been traveling together? A month?
Give or take.
We've been traveling together for about a month, and I think this is the first time you've actually tried small talk.
You'll know I'm not very good
It's
at
a
it, man.
miracle.
How are you?
Generally not well.
Are you sick? I don't have any medicine.
No, I'm just tired. Not physically, but if you two would like to get some rest, I can stay up and watch.
I'm up for that.
Tabik.
Thank you.
Where are you, Tabik?
I think Kiza's dead. Kick Kiza in the back of the caravan.
Kiza pushes you out the caravan wagon.
Tabik.
Kiza's definitely dead.
Tabik.
I would like to stay up for a little bit and then we'll take a rest.
Well, I have nothing to do. I was going to say we could play some games, but
Baz, go to sleep.
I am 143 years old. I know when I need to go to sleep. And I need to go to sleep.
No.
Good night.
Yeah. Let's go to sleep.
Okay, for sure.
Go to sleep.
You guys are supposed to roleplay, you bitch.
Shyn sits up, I guess, like, on the wagon and keeps a lookout.
Okay, so...
How do you look? Do you blink?
So, Baz, you kind of
Drow
roll out your
secretly
sleeping
don't.
bag in the back of the wagon.
Are you sleeping on the ground? Because Ciza pushed you
No,
out.
I'll jump back on.
Kiza kind of shifts over a little bit to make some space. Tabik, are you sleeping as well?
Not right now.
Okay. So you two begin to drift off to sleep. Shyn, Tabik, you guys are left awake.
That's cool.
It's quiet. You can kind of hear like the distant muttering of what seems to be crickets. Kind of just a chirp, chirp,
Chirp, chirp,
chirp, chirp.
chirp, chirp.
It's peaceful. There's the occasional an occasional like breath of wind that kind of begins to rustle the grass and such, but nothing too big.
I'm just super suspicious.
Okay.
Then,
Yes?
Can you inform me of what happened when you guys got arrested?
Well...
Because I left for not even an hour, and I come back and the guards are chasing me.
There may have been an incident. I'm not sure exactly what happened with Charlotte and Ciza. However, it did end with Ciza getting shocked, so I guess there's that. And I may have stabbed the dwarf.
What?
In my defense, it turns out our dwarf is... I'm trying to think of a different phrase than racist bitch. The dwarf is apparently not fond of my kind, and as such decided to insult me and then punch me in the genitalia.
Baz. Oh, it was good.
Are you guys going to fight in the future whenever I leave? Because we can't get arrested in every town.
Oh, trust me. Going forward, I have a good ability not to get arrested normally.
Well, you just disappear half the time, so I get that.
Yes, it's somewhat of a talent that I have.
Well, the rest of us don't have that talent if we get in trouble. And we need to be careful. Can't cause trouble everywhere, else everybody's gonna hate us.
Okay. Good talk, guys.
I was just gonna say that.
It's bothering me.
Okay.
But I could do some great roleplay. Baz have a great dream. He is thinking about yakking. He loves going home. He's thinking about home. The end.
Oh, Tabik needs to talk to you too now, Baz.
Baz is asleep.
Yeah, that'll happen later.
Don't do racist bitch slap.
Okay.
I had something, and now it's gone.
Good to note. So an hour or so passes. Kind of in this desolate kind of place. It's now that you've had enough time to adjust to it. It seems not as beautiful, more empty, if anything. It's just endless fields of flowing grain, which is, it gets boring. After a while of kind of watching this, oh look, the grass is leaning left, and right, and left again. After a couple of, an hour or so of this, I'd like perception checks from Tabik and Shyn.
14.
14?
16.
16. Alright. Okay. You begin to notice what looks like a kind of like a darker shape moving a little bit farther out in the fields of this kind of fields.
Yes, the constant
the
fields
of
weeds.
this fields. And you see one, you see a second one. And they're just kind of these two dark kind of lumps that they barely rise out from the grass, but they kind of like cross back and forth, and they kind of like bump into each other every once in a while and kind of go opposite directions. They're slowly making their way towards you. They're about 60 feet out, maybe?
Maybe.
About 60 feet out, perhaps.
I'm gonna wake up the dwarf.
What? I'll do it there, honey. What?
There's something closing in on the wagon.
Well, why you wake me up about it? Go check it out yourself.
Well, if we have to fight it, I don't want it killing you in your sleep. Or would you enjoy that? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Does
And wake up
Baz
kids
have
as
a
well.
kink for dying? Hey, it's an honest question. You know, it's always sad when you look at me disapprovingly.
Well, Baz does get into very dangerous situations all the time, so maybe he does.
Maybe he has a kink for getting into dangerous situations.
Okay.
No. It's probably nothing. Don't bother it. I
Well,
saw this
stay
on Critical
awake
Role once.
if
It
it
was
gets
an
closer.
ox. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, let's make references to other D&D shows on our D&D show. Let's do that.
I didn't even hear what he said because I lagged. It's fine.
I made a reference because Matt did the same thing when he was an ox.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's not an ox. I think I know what it is.
I have a feeling you're looking over.
Is it because you're looking
Well,
over the
I'm very
screen?
tall. Here, sorry.
Stop.
It does not start with a G.
What?
It's not end with an L.
Okay, stop.
I'm very tall. Let me sit over
Tabik,
here.
Shyn, what are your guys' armor class?
16.
Oh, fuck.
16. Okay.
16.
Okay. You guys watch as you kind of been like studying these things. They've been out there for about 10 minutes or so, just kind of making their way. And there is a slight of a whistling sound. These two kind of whistling sounds, and you see an arrow embeds itself into the side of the wagon, and then a second arrow embeds itself into Shyn.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit you.
Oh, thanks.
Wake the fuck up.
It kind of it skirts like the end your shoulder, kind of dips through. You take 9 points of piercing damage. And your speed is reduced by 10.
Cool.
Until the end of your next turn.
Cool.
As this arrow just comes out of the grass. You're not even quite sure where it came from. But it just impales you in the shoulder.
No, I can't.
I would like to get
Initiative?
initiative rolls, please.
That is...
And my marker.
And
Where's my
18.
marker? Green will work.
18.
Okay. Let me just...
Did you guys lose the Tabik mini? Because he's not on the table.
Oh yeah,
He's right there.
he's in his thing. Grab him. Give me the one with the cape. The white cape. That one, yep. Thank you. Careful next time. You know what? I think we'll take a short 15-minute break.
okay.
Because you don't have stuff ready?
So I can... I've got it ready. I want to draw up a map quick.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be right back with like 15 minutes. We're just gonna get a battle map set up. And I'm going to take down some stats here.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back with